I'm going to talk about answers to questions I get about depersonalization-derealization disorder. I get people messaging me occasionally with like desperate need to relieve their symptoms of this dissociative disorder, which can be excruciatingly painful, terrifying, it can cause dread, and can be disabling. Because they've asked me these things because I've had this and I talk about it in videos. And lately I've been having a little bit of a flare-up with symptoms. I'm still in the midst of an 8-month-long relapse. I'm way better. The fact that I can even speak calmly now, it's great. When it's worst, I'm just disabled. I can barely speak, hold a conversation, barely form thoughts that are coherent. It's just great. So first of all, depersonalization-derealization disorder, it's basically the first part, I'll just call it DPDR. DP is when you feel disconnected from your body and yourself. So I mean, I've felt this a little differently from, it seems like, how a lot of people feel it. They'll feel where they're like looking at themselves like they're in a dream or they're a robot. For me, it's just more like I've just lost my desires. I can even have trouble eating because I've lost my desire to eat, and I'll have to force myself to swallow food. And you feel like you're disconnected from your body. So I did have that very specifically one time where I looked at my hands and I was like, I don't know how these are my hands. And derealization disorder is where you feel the world around you isn't real, and you don't recognize people you know necessarily. Like, you can recognize them maybe, but you don't emotionally, they don't resonate with you emotionally at all. An example of this for me, when I was at possibly my most sick, I was disabled for 9 months, and I was watching TV, I was watching the news. That's all I could bear to watch. For whatever reason, I could only bear to watch Fox News, even though I'm not really into that. At the time, I was more sort of amenable to it, but still, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the red in the logo or whatever, but it didn't trigger this horrible pain and this sense of loss that, oh, the world outside me isn't real, so I could watch this, whatever, fake stuff. But I remember having it on one day and looking at the newscasters, and I was so out of my mind. I was like, I don't even understand what those are. Meaning, those newscasters. I didn't know what they're doing on TV. Are they people or what? It was the worst drug trip. And I'm for whatever reason, I'm having a flare-up now after a few good weeks and months overall. And the trend is, for me, yes, I'll have a flare-up, but then the flare-ups aren't as bad each time, and it gets better, when I recover from the flare-up. So people ask me, do I get existential dread, terror, racing, intrusive thoughts? Yes, I get all that. For me, it's typically about religion, and it can be about other topics as well. And because I've, just disturbing religious background. Christians, don't even discuss this with me. But Christianity basically is a vacuum where there's no sense of right and wrong. It just might makes right. Someone very, very powerful and very, very ancient is going to cause a lot of pain to you for a very long time, where even 1 trillion years is not the beginning, if you do one little thing wrong, whatever that may be. You all can't agree on it. You all have your problems with each other, where it's not just something you do, it's what you believe, it's what you think that can condemn you forever. Drive each other crazy. This is not for you. I grew up in that vacuum, combined with other, pressures and stuff and stress that caused me to have a panic attack at 17, where I felt I was being ripped out of my body, and I've never been the same ever since. Now, so they say, yeah, do you get that? Yes. It can get a lot better in the time between these relapses. Other people have said they're cured completely. The good thing is, they say, a lot of people, okay, first of all, a lot of people who have this, they worry they have brain damage. I've worried that too. You don't have brain damage with this. You're not going to go insane from it. You can't go insane from it, even though I literally thought I was. for pretty much everybody who gets it, it goes away at some point. And I know everyone who gets it, you obsess over symptoms. I did too, and I still kind of do and keep track of my symptoms. That doesn't, I mean, you can't help it. I can't blame anyone for doing that, because that's what I did too. And at a certain point, it can be really triggering to see people talk about their symptoms, and you got to look away from the forums and stuff that discuss this stuff. So yes, I get those deeply disturbing, intrusive thoughts where I feel I'm being ripped out of my body by God or whatever. I went through a period of time when I was recovering where it was much better than the DPDR, but I thought the devil was trying to possess me for years. It was really disturbing. And again, the effects of Christianity, which if it's so perfect, why would it do this to someone? Doesn't make sense. You can't make sense. But I found the truth. I found the truth, and I am passing it on to you from this ancient book. And I don't know if all religions do this, and yes, all religions are different to some degree. Some are better than others. But I can't stand it when people act like, no, my mythology, very reasonable. It's actually not demanding much. Well, why are you referring to some mythology? You sound so gullible. Think of it. You said, no, this is not like Christianity. Mine is different. And I won't get into that too much, because a lot of other religions are persecuted and stuff, and it kind of gets into, a topic that's touchy, and I think people should be able to, follow what religion they want. I just don't. What the hell? Oh. I just can't. Basically, I can't view it as anything other than gullibility. Like, no, you don't understand. It's very important to me that you do it. Oh, okay, it's important to you. You claim you have this perfect thing, and yet you know it destroys lives, and you know it screws with people's minds. It's different from saying, I like country music, and I know in Nashville, where a lot of country music is made and deals are made, that there's lots of abusive musicians, all kinds of different abuse, not just financial and exploitation, but I don't support that. However, they're not saying country music is the all-encompassing, most perfect thing in the universe. Because if you're saying what you have is perfect, then it shouldn't do this to people, and stop being so selfish and following it when it's just my favorite. I just love it a lot. Anyways, sorry, going on a rant. There are, places online that say they have treatments for this. Jordan Hardgrave is the one I can think of lately that's most prominent, I guess. He's on YouTube, and he does coaching, and I took his coaching course, and, a lot of people claim they were cured by his course. Me? No. It didn't really help me. It didn't hurt me, but I get DPDR really bad. To where he talks about relaxation techniques, relaxing your body, and yes, all that stuff's important, especially getting up early, exercising, eating clean, staying active. But here's the thing, when I get this really bad, not only I can't really do certain things, or at least I can't be active with others, I can't process reality. It's like I'm on a bad drug trip. So how the fuck do I do that when I'm tripping out? And, a lot of other people don't have it that bad. I'm not sure I've seen anyone ever have it quite. I won't say that, but I've heard of people who have it really bad for a long time. But for me, I've never seen someone say, no, I literally cannot, cannot do certain things like engage in a social life. There are people who say, yeah, when you get DPDR, have a social life. That'll help you. I'm like, bull fucking shit, man. To quote Nicolas Cage in Matchstick Men, I cannot form thoughts well enough to hold conversations without feeling like a vice is squeezing down on me, trying to clamp down painfully on that emotion that I'm trying to conjure up, where I'm just relating to someone normally. And again, for whatever reason, last few days, it's flaring up a little bad. I'm just hoping, okay, ride this out, it'll get better, as it pretty much always has. So that's for one thing. Yeah. Jordan Hardgrave's course didn't really help me, or at least it didn't hurt me. I still try and get up early every day, and that'll probably help somewhat, but I've recovered 3 times from this without doing that, without getting up early every day or having much of a social life. So I don't know, I just get in deep, and it affects me badly. But and also, whenever I've recovered, I'm never fully recovered. Like, I'm always very prone to being triggered into dissociative episodes where I just go numb. I go completely numb, and I can have really intrusive thoughts and feel like my identity is being disintegrated. And also, there's one guy on that Jordan Hardgrave's Facebook page who's like, yeah, this is word. There's no excuse not to recover with this. And I'm like, yeah, right. But, you know, everybody's in a different place. If he doesn't want to listen to me, that guy, I won't name him, not Jordan Hardgrave. So, but Jordan Hardgrave apparently is a good resource to a lot of people. And I do like his videos on the topic. So watch him, you know. And, you know, if you can afford it, get his online course and coaching, and you can get a Skype session with him, or more than one, I guess. Because I guess he does this a lot now. And he gets a lot of views on the videos from it because a lot of people have this problem. So yeah, people ask, am I ever fully recovered? Look, it's not a great idea to always ask people that stuff, because you'll get anxiety from hearing their answers, and I did the exact same thing too. I would try and reassure myself, does anyone else have it as bad as I do? Does anyone else have, you know, recover after they've had it as bad as I do? You know, I would ask people online, and fucking fly, and you know, I would do that constantly to reassure myself. So I don't blame anyone at all for doing it. It's a terrifying disorder. But I say I'm a bad person to ask, because you're never going to hear the final answer that you need to hear, that you can recover. I've never fully recovered. Each time I've gotten this, I've been to varying levels more susceptible to relapse, where more and more things that are ordinary stimulus for other people can trigger my symptoms. And where I just have to avoid certain things to avoid sensory overload, to where even simple things can do it. A simple question from someone can do it. Right now, man, it's hurting physically, and it affects my senses. So I get strange tastes in my mouth. Sometimes it'll feel like my tongue has, like, I've just fucking mosquito. Tongue has, like, you know, I've held ice in my mouth and my tongue is kind of numb almost. Gets strained, or it feels like weird chemicals like soap are on my tongue. Just strange sensations I'm imagining on my teeth. And this emptiness, this hollowness, like this weightlessness in my hands, in my chest. This feeling of being like mush, like disintegrated. I almost feel like, you know, whereas without this, it's like, you know, it's like my emotions are like have an actual skeleton that forms them. When I'm like this, I feel like my emotions are like a sandcastle. You just pour a little water, it completely disintegrates instantly. And I'm getting those strange tastes in my mouth now, but I just try and get through it, stay active as I can, because it doesn't last permanently. It usually goes away lately. And like I said, I've been going through it for 8 months, still recovering. So, whereas that guy on that forum said, oh, there's no reason you can't get over this within a month or something, or 6 months, whatever he said. I'm like, how do you do that when you're in excruciating pain, which I'm not right now. It's not excruciating, but I was in 2012 to 13 for 9 months. And by the way, that relapse, it was the strangest thing. I know it's sort of, I had building anxiety in this manic, frenzied state in me for the months leading up to it. And then when it happened, I was lying in a hotel somewhere. I was working in Atlanta, and I just had an anxiety attack, and I felt like I was being shot through a tunnel, and I could hear Lady Gaga's Bad Romance blaring in my head. I don't know why. It's not like I ever listened to that song, like, just to listen to it, you know. I heard it around, but it was, you know, but it just started blaring in my head, and I immediately thought, oh no, it's happening again. I can tell. And within a month, I couldn't drive anymore. I couldn't work anymore. And it was terrifying being in Atlanta, having those symptoms. And then I was badly disabled for 9 months total. And I thought I would never get better again, but somehow I did. I recovered. It took another year to be able to sleep properly and to kind of feel my emotions somewhat properly, but like I said, I've always never fully recovered. I'm always sort of split in half. It feels like my skin's being peeled inside out with this stuff. I've heard that whatever it is, some rapid eye movement therapy can help with this. I've never done that. Maybe I'll try it someday. Regular therapy can be kind of triggering and disturbing. It's not really for this, for DPDR. It can address other stuff, but not really for DPDR. And that's why I've always felt, too, that too much talk therapy would trigger my symptoms worse and give me more anxiety. So it's great. There's no way, around it for me. No way to avoid it. But okay, I just deal with it and let it inform, my life and whatever. This is who I am. It's the fact that I live with the possibility. It's almost like being in a sci-fi movie. So in a way, it's kind of fun. Not really, but like I always live with the possibility that my identity could be erased from my mind. And the other thing I want to say is each time I'm absolutely scared out of my mind, horrified and excruciating pain that I'm being ripped out of my body, my life is destroyed, I'll never be the same. Somehow not only I recover each time, but I'm able to sort of be the same person, enjoy the same things. I'm able to enjoy movies again. That's pretty much all I love. And filmmaking. And I love the same types of movies each time I recover. It's not like I have to worry like, oh no, I'm not going to have my senses, my wits about me, my desires anymore. It is affected each time. It's different. I'd say my love of movies has expanded each time and grown, but I got a message on my phone. This might be like recording too long or whatever, filling up space. It's a crappy phone. Anyways, that's the basics of what I have to say. So, check out Jordan Hardgrave if you got questions. And, get coaching from him if you can, or at least watch his videos. Get up early, eat clean, exercise, as much as that's possible. I know, for me, sometimes that seemed impossible. I can't blame myself a bit for that. But try if you can, and try and stay socially active. All right.